So if you haven't figured it out already, we are on our way to the Disney Hollywood Studios section of the Disney World Park here in beautiful Orlando, Florida. Just myself and my boy in the back seat right now. Mom is feeling a little under the weather, but kind of wanted to give everyone the lay of the land as we come into it. Now, what you're seeing here is one of several gates. I'll be honest with you, I have been traversing these paths for the last 3 years on a nearly weekly basis, and I have absolutely no idea how many of them that there are. I know that there are several of them. So right now we are heading into the Disney's Hollywood Studios parking lot, and I'm not sure how much longer you're going to see a lot of this stuff, because there's a lot of rumors that the park itself is going to be stripped down to bare bones and rebranded in the next year or so. So here we go, under the Aqua, yes, excited children in the background as we pass under the Aqua gates. One of the nice things about the Hollywood Park is that it is one of the easiest ones to get into generally, which is a nice way of saying that they don't usually have a whole lot of crowds. It's not like in the Magic Kingdom, where just parking and trying to get into the park can easily take you an hour to an hour and a half. And it's not quite as good as Epcot, where you can park and be in the park itself in about 5 minutes. But this is still pretty good. You see the parking lots are a little full today, but there's still plenty of space available. So the boy and I are going to park and try to get in there and do some Splorin. So we have officially, the boy and I, say hi, Ian. We've officially parked here at Hollywood Studios. We are going to go inside and do a little exploring of the area. Like I said, a lot of this park probably isn't going to be here in about a year or so. They're supposed to be putting Star Wars Land in and a Toy Story Land in. I don't know if they've officially announced the Toy Story part, but it's pretty much common knowledge they're going to tear a lot of it up and start moving under that. So I figured this might be kind of cool to get in there before they put up all the Christmas stuff and get one last good look at what the park looks like right now. Already you're going to notice that there's a lot of things that have been shut down, and it's at best half a park. I want to say there's like 6 attractions. So let's go take a look. Now, for those of you who haven't been here in a couple of years, you might not remember the original Mann's or Grauman's Chinese Theater that has been the weenie, if you will, to lure people down Main Street. It's been covered by a giant sorcerer's hat up until very recently. But as you can see, they have removed the hat and now made it clearly visible once more. And for those of us who are a little bit more old school, this is definitely a good thing. Another cool thing about the park that a lot of people don't get is that a lot of the stuff around here is actually based on real buildings in the Hollywood area. That is taken off of an actual theater just up the street from the Mann's or Grauman's Chinese Theater. Fun fact, this gentleman was actually frozen in carbonite in 1983, I think. Alright, we're about to enter the animation area, which is one of the areas that's thought to be endangered. And obviously a very excited 4-year-old.
Daddy!
Yes, sir? I see it. So how excited are you, Maddie? Are you excited? That's a yes for those of you that don't speak 4-year-old. The building over here, the gray one you see, was up until recently the Disney Art of Animation attraction where kids can go in and learn how to draw. The last time I think it was updated, though, was around the time that Mulan came out, which I want to say was in the mid-90s maybe. So it's definitely been kind of circling for a while, and maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and it's September 2015 right now, they finally put the bullet in it. And currently, this young man and I are waiting for the Disney Junior Playhouse attraction, which is still running strong, as you can see from these crowds. But it too is considered to be endangered, and we'll see if it lasts through 2016. So it looks like there's going to be some sort of Star Wars thing going in here, and it's probably, I would imagine, a little bit of a preview center for what they're planning to do next year. But as you can see, the building that used to be the art of animation, if I can get those words out, is no longer with us, and it doesn't look like they've really done anything to keep up with the building for a little while. So we are now leaving the animation courtyard, which again is considered to be endangered. Although, as you can see, it's still very popular with the Disney Junior crowd. And up ahead is what is currently the Little Mermaid stage show, which has been here, I believe, since the beginning, without having any major changes to it. So we're going to leave the animation courtyard and swing a right and head towards what they call Pixar Place, which has had a couple of identities over the years. And this whole area down here is also considered to be endangered, and bits and pieces have been shuttered over the last couple of years. Although the excuse me, the Toy Story ride, which is probably one of the top 2 most popular attractions in the park, is down here and still drawing very heavy crowds. Fast passes tend to sell out pretty early in the morning. But there's not really a whole lot else down here at this point. If you walk over here, you've got the Walt Disney One Man's Dream attraction, which is, to a Disney junkie like me, it's actually pretty cool. It's got a lot of Walt's personal effects and some pretty historical knickknacks. He used to have his office, but they've taken his office out of here, so this will probably be closing fairly shortly as well. Alright, we're moving out of the Art of Animation area, which is still pretty busy and thriving. And we're moving into, I'm not even sure what they call this area anymore, but this is where they used to have the backstage tram ride, which was kind of cool when it first started. They actually had live sets and a lot of recreations of some pretty important and historical movie sets, but as time went by, it was down to pretty much nothing by the time they closed it. So this area right here is pretty much just open space at this point. I think they're doing a meet and greet over there with Sorcerer Mickey. But to come, I'd be surprised if maybe February at the latest, this is all going to be torn out. And you can see they're not really keeping up with the facades a whole lot, which is a pretty good sign that things are reaching their last days. Cool piece of trivia up here for 80s film buffs like myself, but this fountain over here that we're going to pass is actually left over from the movie Splash, where Daryl Hannah's character gave this to Tom Hanks's character. The studio catering company. And over there is the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids backlot. Play place, playground, whatever you want to call it. I don't think this is going to last much longer either. It hasn't been updated for a while, and as you can see, there's a bunch of grass and looks like a giant super soaker, and I don't know a whole lot of kids under the age of 20 that know what a super soaker is. And I think I'm being charitable when I say 20. This whole area is the Streets of America, and I'm pretty sure that this is about to go away too. You can see they've got Christmas lights already up on the facades. It's supposed to look like New York right here. But they've already announced that after nearly a dozen years, possibly even a couple more than that, of doing the Osborne spectacle of lights, which is a big Christmas tradition here where they light up all these city streets. It's been very popular. It brings people by the thousands. This is going to be the last year that they do it. And where they haven't outright said it, the guess is because they're going to put Star Wars Land in here. You can see the giant balloon sticking up overhead, which is the Muppet attraction. And I think the Muppet attraction is going to be a casualty of the Star Wars area as well. This ball that you see here is going to be flown over the city very shortly as well. And if you look down here, you'll see an area that's supposed to look like San Francisco. And it does, but again, it could really use some updating. Personally, I love this area. There's nothing really to do down here other than walk around and look at it, but it's quiet, it's beautiful, and that's pretty realistic. So it's a nice corner of the park, and during all the seasons other than Christmas, it's pretty easy to find some alone time out here if you need to get away from all the crowds, which is probably exactly why they're going to kill it off. And make a turn right here, head back to the Muppet area, which again is something that most kids don't really know, although there's the new Muppet show coming out, so hopefully kids will be introduced to a cool thing. Now personally, I find it sort of inexcusable that some of this area, the Muppet stuff, is going away, but that seems to be one of the next casualties of the Star Wars land being put in. Alright, heading back out of the Muppet area, back onto the streets of America. I'm going to go into one of the stores that I think is really great. It's sort of a little forgotten area of Hollywood studios, and unfortunately it's probably also going to be a casualty of the new stuff going in, which is really, again, too bad. It's a rarity in Disney to find a cool little place like this, but there's a bookstore over here and a coffee shop that the family and I always enjoy going into. Check out those fashions on the wall, not the people in front of me. I'm sure they're very nice people. Although, yes, that counts too. But the writer's stop right here, and we're going to go in the side door, is a personal favorite of mine. Some very cool stuff that you can't find everywhere, and it's nice and quiet. And of course, there's Lawrence Fishburne. And as you can see, my son knows it well.
I can take on this over here.
Now there's one more endangered element of, one more endangered area of the Hollywood Studios Park, and it isn't this. Star Wars is safe. That we've established. I can see them possibly moving it a little bit, but this area up here is on the chopping block. And this area up here had things like the Sounds Awesome experience over here. I think it was fairly recently. It was the American Idol experience was here. And what you see right here is Indiana Jones, the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular being let out after its most recent performance. That has been there forever. Open with the park. And rumors have it that it too is actually going to see the Wrecking Ball fairly soon as they start redoing things. Kind of hoping that that's not correct though. I think that one has aged pretty well. I like to see it stay. That being said, I am a geeky male in my mid-30s, so for obvious reasons I have a warm spot in my heart for Indy. But this whole area right here is sort of empty other than some seasonal exhibits.